Hi guys. Today we're going to learn about strings or the string class. Okay. I'm going to just call this string class. Okay. We've already created strings. Okay, because strings are a collection of characters. They're not a primitive type like int, boolean, or double, but they are an object type. Okay, or they're objects created from the string class. Sorry. Okay, let me get this down. Get rid of some of this space. Okay. We already know how to create strings. Okay. We can create strings the standard way we create objects. We say the object type, we give it a name. I'm just going to call them statement one and so forth. And then we say new string, and then we put in what our string is. How do you do? Okay. So that's the standard way of creating any object. Okay, remember strings they're objects, they're collections of characters. So there's my class name, my variable name, new class, and then what it is. Okay, what I'm creating, the value. Okay, so I can print, right? Statement one. Go ahead and compile and print this. Save that. And when we run, we're just going to print, oops, how do you do? There we go. Okay. We don't have to go through this since strings are so widely used. We can do a little shortcut. We don't need to do the whole new string. We can just say string because it's obviously the type. And let's do a statement two. And it's going to put my string literal. I am fine. Thanks. Oops, don't need that parenthesis. So this is usually how I create strings. It's a lot quicker, okay? Even though it is an object and we can formally do it this way, it's a special object, so we can do it a lot faster. Oh, let's print that. I can see those. Come on. There we go. How do you do? I am fine, thanks. Okay. And then, of course, I can create, I'm going to go ahead and create a string called greeting. And I'm going to concatenate statement one and statement two. Okay. And I will put a space between them. Okay. And then, of course, let's print greeting. I should have those on the same line. And there we go. There's my greeting, which is the concatenation of statement one and statement two. Okay. Now, just real quick, when we're dealing with string objects, we can concatenate them with numbers as well. Okay. I'm just going to take statement one. Okay. So say I wanted to say statement one. So I want how do you do? And I'm going to concatenate it with a space plus 7 plus 3. Okay, now mathematically I'm thinking I want this to say, how do you do space 10? Okay, but if I do run this, what's going to happen is, you'll see, it just mushes the 7 and 3 right next to each other. Because what it's doing, this print statement's doing, is it's reading this statement, which is a string, and then everything after it is a string. Okay, if I reversed it, I'm going to do a little copy and paste just to make my life a little easier. If I put the 7 plus 3 plus space in front, let me get rid of it out here. Put some space. You don't need the space. I like the space. It makes it look good. See what happens this time. Okay, with the numbers first, when the println statement runs, it says, oh, 7 plus 3, those are integers. I want to add them and get an integer. So I get a 10. And then it says, oh, wait, now there's a string afterwards. So then it takes the string as the string. Okay, so if you want to do a little bit of math within a string, okay, we either got to put the math first or we can force it to do the math after the string. So how do we force math in math? Parentheses. So if I put the 7 plus 3 in parentheses, the system will read this as the statement, how do you do, with a space, and it'll go, oh, I think they want us to do math with this. So then they're going to do it's going to do the 10. Okay, so we'll see this. So here we go. So now we can force that actual math. So remember, without the parentheses, it's just going to read all of this as a string. Okay. Now, other math operations. Now, the plus sign is part of concatenation. So that's why it's not reading this as numbers. It's reading as concatenating a whole bunch of text. Other mathematical operations like multiplication, division, all that other stuff, they will run. Oops. Space. And let's say I did 7 times 3. That is going to run because that asterisk, it means multiplication. There isn't any confusion on whether the plus is addition or concatenation. So that's not confusion. So here we should get, how do you do space 21? Okay. And it would work if I put the 7 times 3 before the statement also. Oh my gosh, my computer's taking a long time to compile. So there we go. So we can see other mathematical operations will work fine without the forced parentheses, but I usually tend to put parentheses anyway, just as a force it has. Okay, so that is our creating string objects and how to work with them with concatenation and number values. All righty, see you next time.